Happy New Year! What up, y'all? I'm Christopher Markland. Welcome to my review/analysis of Season 3, Episode 10 of Ready to Love. Now, this particular episode was filled with a lot of sadness, a lot of emotion, and it didn't really help, if you will, that we had such a long delay between episodes because of the Christmas and New Year break. But it was still a good episode, so let's get into it.
You like chocolate? I don't think they make chocolate peanut butter.
They do.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
But you're allergic to nut.
Why you can't have just a little sensual conversation with me without bringing up my nut allergy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
chocolate.
Uh-huh.
I like your chocolate.
With that Nutella?
Yeah,
With that
come here.
Nutella?
No, you don't want to. Come here. Nah,
Thank you.
don't be like that.
Joy and Jay have had that connection from jump. I mean, from the very moment they saw each other, it's just gotten stronger every week from what we can see. They have such an ease of talking to each other. Their rapport is real well where they can just, crack jokes or whatever. And it's just been real good to see them grow and develop. So I definitely, looking forward to see what happens with their relationship.
You a whole man. Like you're masculine, you're confident, you are assertive.
I don't even know how to describe it. You just have a really unique connection, and that is something that cannot be duplicated.
Give me the eyes, so.
Yeah, you give me the eyes.
See, that right there is the exact reason why he didn't kiss Winter or really pursue something seriously with Winter. I mean, they had a little connection, they had a little spark, but you know that his true connection was with Joy. Now, if he had went and kissed Winter and kind of did that, it would have really convoluted the situation that he was trying to develop with Joy. So the way he played it was exactly that. He knew what he wanted, he knew who he wanted, and that's why he focused on her and didn't let anything become a distraction. Because remember way back when with Simone, or just recently with the connection with Winter, he's always stayed focused on Joy, and it's been to his advantage.
And you've been consistent as my first person that I desire to love because of our vibe. It's fun, then it can get romantic, then it can get fun romantic. I just want to know, how you feeling though, for real, for real?
You had been my number one the whole time.
Okay.
Until just as of recently, that's where, like, Adriana came in and we just got a little closer.
Both Denise and Rashid have put their cards on the table and told their number one how they felt about them. Rashid did that with Adriana, and here we see Denise doing that with Kalfani. There's a difference between the two, though. We see how when each time Rashid has approached Adriana, it's been from a comfort, an understanding. He's been confident with how he's done it. He knows the situation. He knows that Adriana, it has eyes for Kalfani and Rashid, and he's played that. Denise here is almost confrontational, if you will. And when you ask somebody something, you be prepared for the answer, even if it may not be what you want.
The mother of your kids?
Yeah. I can't say that you fell short in any area.
Okay. So you pick Adriana without having a conversation with me about the whole situation?
What do you mean without having a conversation?
No, I'm asking. Like,
we talk every day. What do you mean?
okay, I'm just asking questions.
Kalfani has kept it 100 with Denise. He has told her each step of the way the issues that he's had with her, whether it's her insecurity, whether it's her jealousy, whether it's her negative energy, all of the issues that he's had, he's brought it to her attention. So it's not like he's, been leading her on. It's not like he's not letting her know the issues that he has with her. The problem is, whenever he tells her these things, she's not listening. She only hears what she wants to hear, which is, we got a connection and Adriana's not in the picture, or whatever the case may be. She's only wants to hear what she wants to hear, not what Kalfani's been telling her.
Even in the midst of all the confusion and all the mishaps and all the misunderstanding, I was still putting you first. Why? Because we were doing the work.
Just as a woman, to hear that you second best, it's like Our vibe was a slap in the face.
I knew that kind of hurt her feelings, but I felt like honesty was the best thing to do.
So Denise is devastated, and understandably so. She's told Kalfani yet again that he's her number one, and he hasn't met her energy in return. Okay, so of course that hurts her feelings. However, for me, the split between Kalfani and Denise came when the confrontation at the pool. I think ever since that point, y'all remember this?
I'm just having conversation.
Just having conversations. Okay.
He's telling me that he's just getting to know everyone, and I'm feeling like, you got to go nowhere. We right here. Your vibe is right here.
Guys know what we have to do, but I think y'all are perceiving it differently than what we're displaying.
Some are.
Denise wasn't trying to hear it. We all are here trying to get to know each other, but you should be confident in yourself to know if I do step out with somebody else that I'll be back.
So that's way back in episode 4, and Kalfani has his energy towards Denise just has not been the same because I think he saw a lot of those red flags. They started coming up, and he started taking notice.
More than ever, because how can I say, I'm learning that I'm starting to love you. And you know my past.
Never in 20 years have I allowed myself to feel vulnerable on all levels. And I did that. But I can take it. I can take a fight.
Therapy. Y'all, I say it every episode, and I'm going to say it again. You cannot move forward in happy, healthy relationships if you don't fix yourself. And it is obvious that Denise has not fixed herself. In fact, she's even said it that it's been 20 something years or 20 years or so that she has been, vulnerable. So until you fix yourself, you are going to perpetually be in a cycle of pain. All right. Denise has a lot of issues. And this, I'm no psychiatrist, I'm not a therapist. So I'm just basically what we see on the show. And once again, this is reality show editing. I always got to give that disclaimer. We only see what the producers want us to see, how the show is cut, edited, etc. So we can only take what it is at face value. So, but based on everything that we've seen, Denise has got some unresolved issues, and she wants somebody, be it Anthony or Kalfani, to jump in and fight for her and do all of this stuff, when in reality, she's not giving them anything to fight for.
I get an unexpected knock on the door this morning, and there's a very serious face. And I'm being asked to Joy's room. I walk in the room, and Joy's in the room, and she's distraught. And she just gives me the biggest hug she's ever given me. And she says that her sister passed away.
It's really sad to hear about Joy's sister. I can't even imagine losing one of my sisters. So I hate that for her to have to go through that and to experience that kind of loss. It is kind of telling, though, the kind of relationship or the extent of the relationship between Jay and Joy, that when she heard the news, she said, hey, please go and get Jay. That just speaks to the level, not only of their relationship, but of their friendship, that, she needed someone there, because obviously there's no family there. So the closest friend that she has is Jay, and that's who she reached out to.
Is understandably, distraught.
Yeah.
She spoke with her sister this morning, and then her sister passed within hours. Joy's sister was fine. They talked, within probably 2 to 3 hours of her passing. She was, going about her normal day, and it wasn't expected at all. So she's packing.
Wow.
Each day, each hour, each minute, every second is not promised. All right. If you are watching this video, that means you were blessed to see a new year. Here we are in 2021. Take advantage of it. Make the most of each and every moment. As you can see, in the blink of an eye, you could be gone. Someone that you love and care about could be gone. So make the most of each and every one of these moments that you are blessed to have, and live this life to the fullest. gonna say it again, y'all. Love on those closest to you. I hate that, you know, we've been through some very divisive times in this last year. 2020 was a very divisive year, not just politically, but personally, emotionally. It's been a lot of stuff going on. So let's try to make the most of it. Let's be positive. Let's love on each other. Let's if you haven't talked to somebody in a while, reach out to them. Just check on them. Like, hey, what's happening? How you been? Let's just ah, let's just love on each other. I can't even say it enough.
We got some bad news earlier today that Joy's sister passed away. So she is definitely devastated, but she is now en route to her family in Chicago. This was totally unexpected.
Tommy brings the group together to notify them about Joy's sister's passing. And just looking at the body language, it looks like Winter and Adriana already have an idea as what's going on, which makes sense. Joy was close to Winter. They had a friendship, and Winter and Adriana seemed to be getting along. Of all the ladies, it looked like Denise was the only one that didn't know, which makes sense. She doesn't have any friends, and she darn sure ain't connecting with Adriana, and her and Winter don't seem to have that kind of a vibe. So it's almost like Denise is on an island. The fellas, yeah, they really didn't know, so they all seemed oblivious, and they took the news, and you could see from their body language how they reacted. But it looks like Denise isn't one of the girls, if you will. She's just there by herself.
Joy played a major part in getting me to even open up. This whole process, we had to make a decision on if we were ready to love. I also took a step back from myself and about what it is I wanted and what I desired. And it happened to be something completely different in its entirety.
As the group adjusts to Joy's premature departure, we got to kind of look and see who has a connection with whom and how things are going to kind of play out. So we know Jay and Joy, obviously, because, you know, the connection that between Jay and Winter, that kind of fizzled away. Edwin obviously has a connection with Joy. Kalfani definitely has Adriana as his number one because, you know, the situation is kind of downhill with him and Denise. Rashid, once again, with Adriana. And he really doesn't have any real connection because he sure as hell ain't linking up with Denise after that whole narcissist fiasco. And then we have Anthony, who has a connection with both Winter and Denise. So we're going to see how things play out this episode.
And I've asked for one sign that will solidify a lot of things that I've been feeling. Mm-hmm. And it happened with Anthony. So I wanted you to know that we gotta break up.
Okay, I was never under the impression we had a relationship.
What the hell? Man, shit, I can see why Kalfani started laughing because I'm laughing too. It seemed like he thought they were just joking around, but she's serious. So if I was him, I'd be scratching my head like, what the hell is this woman talking about?
I'm starting to love Anthony, I am. It's just a different vibe, you know?
I get it.
It's just it's there. You are a great guy, and I hope you find love here. I really do. If not here, somewhere else. You know what I mean?
You know, it's bound to happen.
It's gonna happen for you.
It's bound to happen.
Y'all, Denise be playing fast and loose with that L word, that love word. You don't just throw that thing around, especially on a reality show. I get it. The name of the show is Ready to Love, but that don't mean if you fall in love that quick, hey. But I haven't seen anything. Anyway, I'm gonna leave the love stuff alone. I will say this though. Kalfani's definitely realizing more and more as he talks to her that he is dodging a bullet by backing away from her the way that he has. Because if he had kept working on that, I don't think anything good would have come of that.
Kalfani is an amazing man. And the only reason I said I'm falling for Anthony, because I wanted to see if he would fight for me. No.
So I just wanted to talk to you and have a good breakup and not just act like you don't have to talk to me. We good.
That's what's up.
So that's the approach she took, basically to play games, to see if he would fight for her and decipher whatever the hell it was, that breakup and dumb shit. That made no sense. Instead of her just saying, "Hey, you know what, Kalfani, I hear what you're saying. I acknowledge my part. I know that, I do care about you. I do like you. I do like what we, potentially have. And as such, my feelings are invested. However, I know that, I may be coming on too strong, whatever the case may be. But instead, she devises this stupid ass plan of breaking up. And I went back to high school. I don't know what the hell that was, but she could have done 1,000 different things as opposed to what she tried there.
I thought I was just getting to know everyone here and figuring out who I liked or who I clicked the best with. But no hard feelings on my end. She just made it easier for me to make my choice and my decision to focus my energy on Adriana.
All right?
Cool.
Quiet as it's kept, Denise just gave Kalfani the out that he wanted, because I know he saw the red flags regarding her and her personality and the ups and downs. So with that quote unquote breakup, dude's out.
I'm not really a feely type of brother, you know what I'm saying? So when I have emotions like that, it takes me off guard a little bit, and I was definitely taken aback. It was important to me that I own where I am in the process and allow myself to feel.
Yeah.
The next person that I had the most connection with obviously is you, and I don't want to give you half of me.
Okay.
And so I've made the decision that I'm going to leave.
The men this season have been stand-up dudes. I mean, they haven't led anybody on. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been some of them fellas have been like, bruh, come on now, you real F-boy status at this point. But at the end of the day, they all have been stand-up dudes. And you see that here, right, where Jay is telling Winter, hey, I know I had a connection with you, but I'm not going to play around and give you half of me and stick around. No, I'm leaving. And he's letting her know. And that to me is, you cannot knock that. You got to respect that. You know, to be honest with you though, I had to look at my notes. To be honest with you, he really couldn't stay anyway, because what could he have done? He had such a solid connection with Joy. That's one. But the way that he ended things, or the way their quote unquote date between him and Winter ended with the kiss on the cheek or whatever, there was no real connection there. So if he had stayed and been like, okay, well, while Joy's handling her thing, I'm gonna stay here and try and focus on something with Winter, not only would that have been disingenuous, but that's some F-boy behavior. And I know for a fact Winter wouldn't have rejected something like that, not the way she's carried herself up to this point. So really and truly, he had no other alternative. And just from the games, playing the show's perspective, but it just wouldn't have looked right. And I don't think anybody would have had any respect for him if he stayed behind. And he just doesn't seem to be that kind of dude anyway.
Wanted to touch base with everybody. I respect you all very much. And honestly speaking, I can't really be fully here and support Joy in the way she needs to be supported. So I'm going to bounce. Yeah, it's time to, just show off for her however she needs. So.
Yeah.
That's big, man. That's grown man stuff
Yeah.
right there, man.
I appreciate
it. I can respect that to the fullest, man.
And I'm sure you appreciate it because it makes it easier for all y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't got me to worry about. Well.
Part of me really thinks that Edwin wanted to leave first anyway, but Jay kind of, anyway, that's just speculation on my part. I'll let that go. But Jay, you heard what he said. Hey, me leaving here is gonna make it easier for y'all anyway, which is true, because with him out of the picture, it kind of helps Anthony and Winter and their connection and how they develop it. And I guess it also, well, that's probably the only two that it would affect.
As much as I want to say that I would like to be able to walk away from this process and from this journey saying that I've discovered love or I found love, I don't believe that it was intended for it to happen here is all I can say. I'm removing myself from this journey because of the fact that I believe that God honestly had me on a different path.
Adriana is definitely the most strategic player on the ladies' side, and Edwin is that on the fellas' side. think about it. What other connection does he have? He doesn't have one with Denise. He doesn't have one with Winter, and he doesn't have one with Adriana. So with Joy gone, he was going to be eliminated sooner or later. So him taking the opportunity to leave allowed him to leave graciously and in the manner that he did, where he essentially came out a winner.
Denise, she's still classy, pretty, intelligent.
Right.
But I know Denise was in your top. Denise was in my top too.
Right. Like you said, Denise has been there. We both went on a date with Denise.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But some stuff happened the other day, man.
Okay.
She pulled me out to have a conversation with me. So she was like, "We're broken up, and you know, I'm focusing my energy on Anthony." I was like, "We broken up?"
Broken up.
I didn't know it was, you know, that type of relationship. Has she talked to you at all?
Y'all, I've said it before, the house is too small for foolishness, and also everyone in the house talks amongst themselves. And we see that right there between Kalfani and Anthony. They're sitting down, chopping it up, and Kalfani's relaying the situation that happened to him regarding Denise and letting him know of that particular conversation that they had. Now, with that being said, there is a fine line between being gossipy and trying to warn a brother. Because don't get it twisted. Dudes, you know, especially if we know someone in particular, we're going to be like, hey, you know, such and such. And if you know, yeah, I know her, but you might want to watch out for this because of that. And that essentially is what happened there, where Kalfani's like, yo, I don't know, you might want to be careful of this one. I'm going to fall back, bro, but I'm going to let you know of what happened. And, you know, you might want to just keep your eyes open. That, I think, is what happened in that situation.
I feel like Anthony is for me, you know, and I love him. And this and that, I was like, man, that's strong words.
Well, if that's the case, if she was already with you, that clearly makes me second.
Right. Like the consolation prize.
Y'all, I gotta say, come on, Kalfani, you crossed the line with that one, bro. I was riding with you, man, but when you season it by saying, yeah, you that consolation prize, you got messy. I can't ride with you on that. You could have steered that conversation any of which ways, and that, hey, you know what, man, it didn't work out for me. You know, I know you and Denise have a different connection. Y'all, the energy that y'all two have is different than the energy that she and I have. He could have done anything, but to leave it like, yeah, well, you know, since I'm gone, you know, you just basically a consolation prize, or just take the conversation down that road. Just a little bit messy, man. Just a little bit messy.
What is this breaking up thing? What are we breaking up from?
That's what kind of tripped me out. Well, she already broke up with me.
But this is what I'm saying.
So I mean, I care about her.
Right. I do too, likewise.
I don't want to see her hurting or nothing.
Right.
But at the same time, the ball is being passed to you, my man.
I'm good. Like, I don't know what else to say on that.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a crazy situation, bro.
I know
it's crazy.
Strong emphasis on crazy. Man, Kalfani literally passed the hot potato on over to Anthony. Be like, hey, this is your problem now. I don't know what end game Denise was planning on, but it definitely wasn't that. I get it. She wanted, you know, Kalfani to fight for her, but I don't think she looked and saw how things were going to play out.
I broke up with Kalfani yesterday.
You broke up with him?
I said, you know, you are a great guy, but I'm starting to love Anthony.
I feel like Kalfani didn't fight for me.
Oh,
How you doing today?
Good. It is what it is. Never make someone a priority when you're only an option to them.
There goes that L word again. I can rock with Denise on that. It does, you know, I wholeheartedly agree with that. You shouldn't make anyone a priority that considers you an option. However, this is something that she has arbitrarily set within her mind, not in anything with the conversations that she and Kalfani have had. Because last I checked, Kalfani has always said that Adriana is his number. Well, no, that's not true. Kalfani has said, he's told Denise straight up, yeah, you were my number one. However, when you did this, and this, I fell back, and now I put my focus on Adriana. That doesn't mean that you're no longer there or you're no longer viable or whatever the case may be. It just means that, hey, until we sort some things out, my attention is going to be on Adriana, but you're still in the picture. So he's been straight up with her. He hasn't, you know, played with her and said, yeah, you know, you're my number one while he's sneaking around with Adriana. He has let Denise know straight up. So I don't, Denise has she sees things her way, obviously, and it's not necessarily seated in reality as far as what's going on around them.
Well, that should be interesting because Anthony and I, obviously have bonded. You know that.
I had to express my feelings.
I try not to make judgments on someone's psyche, but maybe Denise's decision to tell Calfani that she loves Anthony has more to do with strategy and less about feelings.
This is a moment of clarity.
Got you.
I'm not going to comment on Denise's psyche either because, once again, we are only seeing what the producers want us to see based on reality show editing. I will say this, though. Denise's strategy was stupid. I don't know what she was thinking about. I want him to fight for me because if you tell a man that, yo, not only am I breaking up with you, but I feel like I love somebody else, he ain't going to be like, oh, you know what? No, especially in a situation where y'all just met. That no dude I know is gonna be like, oh, I gotta have you. Nah, this ain't the movies. It's real life. And also, Winter knows that she's coming from a position of strength because she's been around dudes long enough to know. I'm assuming here that dudes ain't gonna necessarily go for that because you saw her reaction when she was like, "Oh, you love him? Oh, okay." Winter, I think she's much more confident in her position with Anthony than and feels she doesn't have anything to worry about when it comes to competition from Denise.
With Jay leaving and Denise sharing her heart about Anthony with me, I decided to do a little temperature check with Anthony just to make sure his head was in the same place.
So what's up?
I just wanted to check in with you. You know, you've always been very special to me, and I feel connected to you more than anybody. I don't even really see anybody else here. And I just kind of wanted to see where you were on that.
Well, that's very nice to hear.
Yeah, you catch that? I don't see anybody else here. Here is that qualifier that lets you know that, if it wasn't for Jay being gone, then it would be different. Now, if Jay was there, then obviously the connection that Winter has with Anthony would be a little different. But she does have a connection with Winter. And, it was a smart move on her part to go and have that conversation with Anthony to make sure that her connection was solid, especially after talking to Denise and hearing what she had to say.
This looks scary to me. Truth or dare? Let's go truth.
Okay, truth.
Am I still your number one?
Oh, wow. You know how at first we were at the point of who you have a connection with. Now I feel like it's at the point of the future, like who can you see yourself with long term, and that's where I'm at now.
Right.
I get it. You never know until you ask. However, if you gotta ask, you already know what the answer is. So,
My best shot, I just shot a 3-ball, I just shot a layup, free throw.
All of them?
Dunked it, whole 9 yards. It's like I put all of my eggs in one basket with you. But even if you decide to go another route, I'm good if I don't get that basket, but it was worth it.
Rashid definitely went in, all in on his number one, Adriana. Now, one thing I will say is that out of all of the dudes, Rashid has grown the most. I mean, when we first met him, when he was first introduced or whatever, he was bragging about how you went and bought pajamas at Nordstrom's and all of that. However, as the show has progressed, we've really gotten to know him, and he's really a stand-up dude. I got much respect to him and how he's carried himself, throughout the show. I personally think that he'd have been better served putting his attention in towards other women that were on the show, but he liked who he liked. That's who he went after. He shot his shot, and he's letting her know that, yo, you're the one I'm feeling. Can't be mad at that.
Very nice, very nice. I appreciate you.
Let's just enjoy this. Let's enjoy us and our company. Because, it ain't changed for me. You A1 since day one. I mean, nothing has changed. I still feel the same. It's even greater. You already know. So it's...
I know you've made connections, with Calfani. Yeah, I just taking things into consideration.
I've never had an adult.
Okay. Anthony has asked Denise, I want to say it was the end of one of those episodes, hey, how do you feel about you and I together? And Denise straight up told him, hey, I have a connection with Calfani. It's deep, it's spiritual, it's this, it's that. So Anthony knows that, okay, between, them two, her attention is with Calfani. Kalfani and Anthony have already talked. So all Denise had to do was be like, yo, you know what? You know that me and that my attention was with Kalfani. However, the more that we move along, I see that he's focused on Adriana, and I want to focus on you and I because we've had a connection, we've had this, we've had that. That would have been a much different conversation than the one she's trying to play. And it almost strikes me as if to say she basically knew that Anthony would be there, so she could do whatever she wants to. That kind of disrespect, no dude is gonna stand for blatantly. No, no.
Things happen with you where it's just effortless. And you know that.
Well, I just do me. I mean,
And doing you is perfect. It's imperfect, perfect, you know? And I'm falling. I-A-M-F-A-L-L-I-N-G.
Yo, falling.
So,
Okay.
Y'all, this is painful to watch. I don't know what the hell it is Denise is doing. I don't know what kind of game she's playing. I don't know what's going on with her. And on a side note, speaking of side, Anthony's side eye is lethal. The way he's just cutting at her, I'm surprised she ain't been like split in half by now.
We're coming close to the end of the road here. Y'all have spent more time together than most people can spend in 6 months a date. And decision time is upon us. Any love triangles that you are tangled in, you need to untangle. It's now time to release who has not fully captured your heart.
So it's decision time. This week, Lord knows, has been a lot different. I mean, we've seen the fallout of Joy leaving, basically causing two of the fellas to leave. However, somebody's still got to go. And right now, based on what they're saying, and with Nephew Tommy talking about the love triangles, it's between Rashid, Denise, or Winter, who is pretty much going home this week.
Down, to the wire. So I just wanted to just speak with you and just share with you where I'm at with everything. You were at my top, and I have decided that I don't want to lead you on or anything like that. I'm gonna go in fully with Winter.
So you felt like whatever reason was enough reason to just say, forget it. That lets me know that you won't fight for love. You'll just give it up.
You have got to give somebody something to fight for. Let me know, y'all let me know in the comment section. Have we ever seen Denise take inventory of her actions and be like, hey, you know what? I did this, or I said that. Has she ever said, I was wrong, or I could have done this better, or whatever the case may be, when someone has pointed out how she has carried herself? I don't think she has. I know there have been some times where she's been like, hey, you know what? They told me this, so I've got to be more vulnerable. I've got to be that. But she hasn't said, I have done this wrong, or I have whatever. I just haven't seen it. So I don't know where she has taken any kind of accountability and therefore given somebody something really and truly to fight for. The only thing that she has done is become defensive, or want to be combative, or any just negative things, instead of saying, you know what, how can I grow in a positive way?
Fit for you. You and Calfani are amazing men, and whether I leave here with you or him, I don't need to leave here with a man to validate my love.
Yesterday, me and Calfani also had talked as well.
Good.
He's also decided that I think he's gonna go elsewhere. And,
That whole thing was kind of weird to me. I got the feeling like Anthony was supposed to be the one to send Denise home, and that's why he said, hey, let me talk to you. It's kind of weird that they did it publicly like that, but that's how they've been doing the last couple ones, where when a person, their journey comes to an end, it's been in a group setting. Now, I give Anthony much respect. He said he pulled her aside and said, hey, I'm letting you know that my connection is with Winter, and I'm gonna leave you alone. However, I don't think it was, in fact, I know it wasn't his place to speak for Kalfani, unless he had been designated the role of speaking for Kalfani, where, all the guys, where they've done in the past, where either all the ladies be like, hey, we all think you should go, and all the fellas be like, we all think you should go, and they're the designated spokesperson. So unless that was his specified role, you can't speak for Kalfani and especially on a conversation that you and Kalfani had. Nah, bro, you don't do that.
What's going on? I know Anthony said you had something to tell me.
What y'all talking about?
Well, I just spoke with Denise, and I just shared with her that I'm going to be focused on you. That,
Oh,
yeah.
well, shit. That's great news.
Yeah, so.
Oh, wow.
Kalfani basically walks in and he's like blind, like, hey, what's going on? He doesn't know what's happening with that, which is kind of weird because once again, Anthony shouldn't have brought up Kalfani's name in a conversation between him and Denise unless he was supposed to. Bet. Kalfani's there now. So it's kind of weird to me because at the same time, that's when Anthony walks back, tells Winter that, hey, basically tells the group what he just told her. And you hear Rashid bust out with this loud laugh. Y'all, that's got to be uncomfortable for Denise. Like I mentioned earlier, it seems like she's there by herself. She's on an island by herself. Don't get me wrong. She created that island. Remember way back when she told Adriana that she's not there to make friends? Well, she didn't. So now she's there by herself, and the only connections and people that she really has are with Anthony, no longer, and Kalfani, no longer. So she's literally there by herself, and they're actually laughing at her in the background. Kind of sad.
Been in my top from day one.
You were like, we're done, and we're broke up, and Anthony, I'm falling in love with Anthony and stuff like that. I mean, it was a choice and a decision you made. Just going back and forth. I just feel like I just gonna let it be.
It's all love, boo. And I will definitely continue on my journey.
Kalfani said it. Hey, you, Denise, were the one that told me you were breaking up. You were the one that said that you had a connection and loved Anthony. I gave you what you wanted. You said you were leaving me, so I gave you what you wanted. What more do you want? What am I fighting for? You said we're here to, ready to find love. You said you found love. I'm gonna let you go. I gave you what you wanted.
I want a man that's gonna be confident and know what type of prize he has. I still leave here with grace because I'm the true winner here. I didn't settle at all.
And so with that, Denise's journey has come to an end. Y'all, this was a crazy episode, and it started out obviously with Joy having to leave, so her journey coming to an end due to the personal tragedy of her sister passing. Sending out my prayers for that. That's definitely a difficult situation to go through. And of course, with Joy leaving, that the chain reaction from that was Jay then left the show. So now we know his journey is obviously come to an end. And the domino effect of as well, like we talked about, is Edwin having left the show. So right now we are down to Rashid and Kalfani and Adriana, Anthony, and Winter all remaining for the season finale next week. Y'all, once again, Happy New Year. Really thank y'all for rocking with me. I love the new followers, the new subscribers. And also with 2021, I'm going to be restarting my Markland Mondays relationship. It's not really a podcast, even though I'm going to do that. But every Monday, we talk about different relationship topics or, as far as dating and relationships and all of that. And we're going to be starting it up on Monday. So make sure you follow me on Facebook, or excuse me, like me on Facebook. That because I talk about all the discussion topics there. You can also jump in, let me know what you're thinking. So like me on Facebook. So many damn social media. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram because I will be live streaming both on both of those platforms, both on Facebook and on Instagram starting on Monday. And as you always can follow me on Twitter. So Instagram and Facebook is author Christopher Markland, and Instagram is author_Chris M. I appreciate y'all's support. Can't wait to see the season finale next week. Y'all have a great week. Happy New Year. Y'all make it a great one. See y'all next week. Stay determined.